In my entire human life, I never cared about gender politics. Really, I don't. I couldn't care less about genders. There are so many people who think it's important, and so they do. That it's their life. They are of course free to do whatever they want. So if they want to be a transgender, I don't mind. It's of course not. It's their life. Who are we to judge that? So I never cared about genders or things like this. I'm born as a male, and so I am a male. Um, but yeah, there were actually moments in my dragon's path that I could see actually that a lot of people inside of the dragon's path could see themselves as a dragon, but also as a different gender. So, for example, they are girls, but in fact, they can see themselves as a boy dragon inside of realms, inside of dreams and visions. Of course, that can be very much. I had a story about someone who was actually a boy, uh, a young boy that could see visions and dreams of himself as a dragon, that he could see himself die as a dragon, but this was actually as a female dragon that he had, and he could remember his death even as well. He could see himself as a female dragon that had a difficult life here on Earth, and that is, of course, what it can be, my brothers and sisters. It can be, what my dragon goddess actually is. My dragon goddess is chaos, and once you transform in your spirit inside of the dragon, it can be that it's all going to change. It doesn't need that you have to be stick of what you are as a human, of everything that you have as a human. But as a human, for example, I am a man, but it could be that my dragon spirit is that of a female. Could be very much that you, as a human, could be very confused of what you are. And also your dragon eye, your circle of all the dragons that stand with you. You are one together. So you share every energy that your dragons have with you, with them. You share it with them. So you share thoughts, ideas. You share the language that you speak. You share your humanity with them. But they are sharing their draconity with you. So they are sharing as well of all the energy that they have. So you can understand what they are saying, what they are thinking, what they want to say, what they are feeling, what they are having from emotions. You are sharing this. They are sharing this with you. But you can also share your sexuality with them. And that can be very intense. That can also be very confusing, my brothers and sisters, of what kind of a sexuality that you can share with each other, because that is the reason why they call it the dragon's eye. The dragon's eye is attached to one body, and that is what it wants to say. The dragon's eye is attached to one, and all of you are one. You are even one with the dragon god or goddess, it could be, but you are one with each other. You are like the hydra with the several heads. No one can cut off your head because your head will grow back. So no one can do that. But yeah, that means that you will share the same body. You will share the same energy. You will share everything. And that can be very confusing, because what is actually what you feel? What will you feel? Is it you, or is it something of your dragons by your side? Or maybe it's your dragon spirit that you can feel. Like I said, the dragon's awakening is so darn confusing that it actually hasn't have a name how confusing it can be. And that is underrated, because so many people in this world that has a dragon awakening, they don't know what is going on, what they are feeling, what they are dreaming. It's so difficult, and it's also very very important that you have people by your side who can understand what you are going through. This man that I'm speaking of, he feels very feminine, because his dragon spirit is female and he is a male. So what is he actually? He doesn't really care for having transgender or things like this, but he could feel this feminine power of his dragon very much. And even I felt his feminine energy so much. The dragon by my side, for example, my first dragon by my side is a male. Is a male, so I am a male, but my dragon goddess, for example, yeah, like the word said, is a goddess, and I could feel the feminine power of her very, 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 very well. Um, and I bet my dragon by my side as well. Of course, we all bow down to the same goddess. Of course, you shouldn't bow down because the dragon goddess doesn't ask that. Tiamat doesn't ask that, but we do it anyway. But we are actually one. You know, as I speak to you, I speak as well in the name of Tiamat, because Tiamat goes through our soul, it goes through our spirit, and because of her feminine energy that she had, that she still has, her giving birth to everything, I could feel everything in this world. I could feel every forest. I could feel everything that is about to give birth. Really, as a male, my dragons by my side as well. And sometimes I feel very feminine because of Tiamat, because of the dragon goddess, because of this. And it feels so, and especially in the beginning, it's so darn confusing. It's very confusing. It's actually too bad that you have to deal with this alone in all of this confusion. Remember that there is always dragons by your side to comfort you. I had this many times, that my dragon is the one that actually comforts me, and you have to let them do that, because sometimes you really need this in this world where you live. And so sometimes when you have all of this confusion, not knowing who you are, actually you could use a hug from your dragon, and sometimes your dragon can do that, and it feels so darn good. Whenever I could feel Tiamat's energy, I could feel the feminine power very, very well. But I could still feel also my dragon by my side was the first one that ever reached me, that I could feel very much, and I could feel his power very well. That we come together, and it's like we are one together. We are like one mind. And sometimes when dragon speaks to you, it happens in the mind. It happens telepathically. So when you are speaking to your dragons, you are speaking telepathically, because you are connecting with them as one. You are a hydra together. So this man, whenever I said, you can, this is your dragon eye. It always emotion. It always moves. So whenever one day you can feel very male, and so one day you can feel very female. It's always emotion, always turning, and always wrong. Not one day is going to be the same in feelings, because your circle, your dragon eye, is filled with dragons, filled with all different kind of dragons, alongside with the dragon spirit that lives inside of you. And all of these dragons are one dragon eye, and it always moves, always emotions. So always going to wonder yourself, who actually am I? So what you have to wonder yourself, my brothers and sisters, in this is not, who is my dragon by my side, and who am I? Who you are, my brothers and sisters. Even this man had the spirit of a female dragon. He was actually both of them. He was both, because in sexuality he also was both of them. So he could very much be attracted to male and female at the same time. And that is what he was wondering himself, what is going on? Well, actually this was also constantly emotion, because he was actually in a physical way a male, but in a spiritual way a female. I hear this all the time, how people want to transform themselves from gender. Well, actually I don't mind, but as a dragon spirit that I could feel very well, I could know that we in our path can have this too. We can have this gender that we don't know what we are actually. We don't know if we are male or female. Of course, whenever we go to see what we are in a physical way, of course, I'm a man, of course. But in our spirit, it's going to be different maybe. It could be very much different. And that is something that you shouldn't be ashamed of course not. Let people judge, they judge everything. But in fact, what you actually are is something that you have determined for yourself. Because this is something that you need to feel. What is your dragon by your side? But what is your dragon spirit? It can be completely different than what you can see in front of you. My face doesn't scream out my spirit. That is why I wear a mask. You don't need to see my face, because when I speak to you, I speak for my spirit. I speak for the dragon spirit, but I do not speak as with the face that you see in front of you. So that is, yeah, it's going to be, yeah, some people judge by seeing and looking at your face. Most of the people do that. Actually, all of them do that. They see your face and they judge you for what your face is showing. But what your spirit is saying can be something completely different.